Howdy folks, this is Checkers back with something new today. Our first ever look at Firewatch. All I've done so far is remap my keys and check the graphic settings. I have not tried it out, I have not turned it on. This is a first try and you're here with me for that. So let's go ahead and click New Game and choose a save slot. Campo Santo presents, in cooperation with Panic Incorporated, Boulder, Colorado, 1975. If it's loud, I may have to adjust the audio. You see Julia. She's about your age, late 20s, laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You, Henry, are out drinking with your pals. You approach her. You are drunk. So, what's your, major? Or, you're pretty. Let's go with the left one. You slur the word major and it smells like Coors. You give an awkward smile. Evolutionary biology, she says, and I'm a professor. Cool, you reply. What's yours, she asks. She sniffs the air. Toxicology? Was that a burn, you ask? She says definitely. Worried she hurts your feelings, she asks you if you want to split a cheeseburger. 1 week later, you are Julia's boyfriend. Picked up a backpack. We're in an elevator. I know I speak relatively softly, so let's take a quick moment and pull the master volume down about there, and probably music down about there. And okay, we'll resume. We'll see if it's our truck that we're going to try and get in. You date for over a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's great. You move in. You share an apartment near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is good. Julia wants to get a dog. There's a scruffy, undersized beagle. Julia's in love. She wants to bring it with her to class. There's also an intimidating but gentle-eyed German shepherd. Nothing bad could happen to Julia while walking this dog. It's badass. You pick up the beagle, and she names him Bucket. Bucket's a good dog, and a week later you've totally forgotten about the other one. Julia loves him. You love him too. 1979. You talk out on the deck. It's summer. 9:30 p.m. and the heat still radiates off the high desert. What do you think about kids? She asks. Kids? They're not very smart or good at much. I was saying if you and I have some, a couple little idiots. That would be pretty good. Or one day, why rush? She looks away out towards the mountains. We have plenty of time, right? Speak for yourself, mister. Don't worry, you assure her. You tell her she has the body of an undergrad. My ovaries didn't get the memo, she says, laughing it off. One day, okay? One day, okay, she says. 6 months later, you get engaged, lying in bed on a Sunday morning. And we've arrived out in nature, in the mountains and trees from our truck. There's a billboard here, message board, the map. Don't forget to check in. You're in their country. Learn to live with bears. No firewood. And warning, thoroughfare trail is not recommended for inexperienced hikers. Thoroughfare is a primitive backcountry trail. And we can zoom in a little bit. The trail may be vague along several stretches and disappears entirely at some washes. It has many confusing... I can't read that word. Locating the trail may be more difficult than expected, and it is common for novice hikers to find themselves stranded at night without water. Make a plan, be prepared. And there's a path here. $19.80. It's a Thursday night and Julia is 4 hours late. She doesn't call. You're worried and getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. She's not quite drunk, but she's clearly been having a fun time. You fight when she gets between the sheets. You get mad, you ignore her. I guess if I were in my 20s, I'd probably get mad. You call her an inconsiderate asshole. She tells you to fuck yourself and to not be such a baby. You call her selfish. She knows you mean it, and it hurts her feelings. 1981. Julia still likes to draw. She draws plants from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. You pose and flex like He-Man. You frolic like a Victoria's Secret model. In my 20s, I'd pose and flex like a He-Man. Now I'd probably frolic. You look awesome. Beautiful colors. Spiky down tree. Two Forks Fire Lookout. 8 miles ahead. $19.82. During the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking Bucket at night. There's a festival in town. It brings in folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. Bucket gets kicked. Fuck! Dog! Julia yells. She gets flustered and has trouble speaking when she is stressed. You confront the attacker. You scare him away. You beat his goddamn face in. Your arm gets cut up, but you beat the guy to a pulp. You don't feel very tough. You cry your eyes out before the cops show up. Julia asks to take a different path from that day forward. You say, okay. You don't want to go that way either. From then on, you walk by the river. $19.84. Plans to have kids get waylaid by work. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale is in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job, associate department chair. She wants to move. You absolutely do not. Convince her to not take the job. Agree if she commutes back and forth. You ask her if she'll commute back and forth. You don't want to move to Connecticut. She says that'll be hard, but she'll do it if you won't move. You tell her not to pass it up if it's what she wants. She agrees. She flies back to Boulder 3 times each semester. 1985. Julia is sent home from Yale on paid leave after having an episode. She lost it on a colleague for borrowing a books that were important to her research. She didn't remember she had happily loaned them to him just 2 days prior. She was found crying in the stairwell. You say that maybe you guys should talk to someone about it. You make macaroni and drink wine and try to forget about it. After seeing multiple doctors and having many tests, they are worried that Julia might be suffering from an early onset dementia. She is 41. You both decide to keep it secret for now. Found a journal. Bucket is getting older. Julia comments that it's kind of nice because he gets in less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to the university. (1987) Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in class. Her research is in shambles. She drives her car to the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by the police. She is devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Some days you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Other days you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love. After 5 minutes she goes into a panic believing her dad is at the door. You tell her family. They are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a while your friends come by with little things to brighten the day. She gets worse. 1988. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between the 2 weekly visits from Daniel, the nurse. He suggests that Julia could live somewhere else, somewhere with 24-hour care, a home. It sits with you for a couple of months. You decide to move her into a full-time care facility. You are determined to take care of her by yourself. Tougher decision. If I didn't know anything about the condition, I would probably try and take care of her by myself, but I do know something about it. You decide to move her into a care facility. Walking along a path, feeling regret for my choice. Deer ahead, bounding into the distance. Her family agrees with your decision. You find a fantastic place in Boulder and move her there. You see her every day, then every other day. You go out to the bar with your old friends. It's not the same. You get the feeling that every wife tells her husband, "If you ever put me in a home like Henry did, I will cut your balls off." You slowly decide not to see your old friends that much. 1989. Julia's sister Susan moves to Boulder to be close to her. She visits her every day. You go with her some of the time. Susan buys you an old typewriter and urges you to use it if you won't see a therapist. You won't. You've always really liked Susan. Months go by. Bucket dies. Julia doesn't remember him when you tell her. Sometimes it takes her a minute to lock in on you. In the back of your mind, you believe it's because you see her less and less, and seeing her less and less makes her forget you more, you think. Summer is coming and you see an ad in the paper for a job. You take it. And we have an objective now to enter the lookout tower. It's night. We'll just take a look around the tower before we go in. Looks like there's an outhouse down the hill, a driveway. Turn on the power. Generator switch. And the power is on.
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
So, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
So our choices are: you've killed 3 ex-husbands, you're rebelling against your mom, nobody back home can stand you. You've killed 3 ex-husbands.
Okay, you've killed 3 husbands. You're a black widow and you're just out here until the heat dies down and then you'll kill again.
Ooh, very good. Bravo, Henry.
Okay, I sleep now?
Not quite. Now you.
Okay, good night, bye.
Let's see. I don't know anything about you, but 9 times out of 10, folks out here simply got dumped.
Huh, is that it?
Close?
Good night.
Good night. Welcome to the job.
And Firewatch, day 1.
Good morning, Henry. Well, I guess good afternoon. You probably slept like a rock. Anyway, there's still a few hours of daylight to get some work in. I can see you at your desk, so call me when you're ready.
Okay. Answer radio call. Sorry, guessed I slept in.
Hey, sorry, guess I slept in.
You got a relaxing, 14 hours of sleep? Whew.
Yeah, Jesus, I guess it's what, 6?
6:45.
Whoops.
Don't worry about it. That hike puts everyone out of commission for a day or 2. But now that you're up, let me quickly get you acquainted with the job. There's a thing in the middle of your room with a round map on it. Do you see it?
Report map table.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
This is the Osborne Firefinder, invented in 1914 by W.B.
Osborne?
You use this to spot, you guessed it, What the fuck?
What is it?
Nothing. You use this to... Oh, fuck me!
Good God, language, lady.
Out your west-facing window. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Confirm what Delilah is seeing.
Are those fucking fireworks?
Which way is west? N to use compass. Okay. Oops.
I need you to confirm. Do you see them?
Oh, one moment, please. West is that way. Okay. I guess I should go outside.
Seriously, are you seeing this?
No, I'm sorry, I'm not. Um...
Whoa, that's not legal, right?
No. You need to get down there right now and stop them. Fire danger is through the fucking roof.
Is that really my job?
Your job is whatever I say it is. Look, the closest ranger is like 2 days away. Go down there and set him straight.
Like, kick the shit out of them? Can I write them a ticket?
Do you
I'm
think
not
you can
really into
handle that?
discipline.
Like, kick the shit out of him sort of straight?
No. Jesus, no.
What? I'm not a cop. It's not like I've got a rule book over here.
Just make sure they don't do it again. Take their shit.
Alright, fine.
Don't feed anyone a knuckle sandwich. Get going. You'll probably need a rope to get down the shale between you and the lake, if I remember right. There should be one in the supply box on the way. The code is 1234. It's actually that for all of them.
Secure.
Shut up.
Okay, well, let's see what's... I guess we can't open the desk drawer. We can't take our backpack, which is what I would tend to want to do. I guess we can take our thermos. Only to examine it, though. Water jug. Well, we don't seem to be able to take anything that we would need with us, like food, water, lights, or weapons. So let's go. Oh, the backpack just comes with us when we open the door. Right on. And let's see, we came up this way. And then all we have to do is remember which way west was. M to read map. Okay, that's us. And it looks like we're heading east-ish. We want to go west. And there is a path here. Looks like this path kind of wends west-ish. Well, then it turns south, so I guess we're going off-roading a little bit. And we'll see what happens. Oh, here's a nice little... Oh boy. That sounded like a bear. It still sounds like a bear. Hey, cool. That is sounding more and more like a bear every second. Unless I want to throw my compass at him, I'd better put that down. Only sounds like a bear when I look away from him. Medicine wheel? see it. I don't think that's supposed to be like my breathing or anything. Oh, we're not climbing that. Am I trapped in a nice little bear-friendly cul-de-sac? Oh, yes I am. Well, here's a cut in the rocks we can try and slip through. And then we're just trapped in the brush. Yep. Maybe if I had a hatchet or a machete or something. Oh, maybe. Can we get around it? Not so much. Okay. Back to medicine wheel. Well, is this a path? No. What about this? Not so much. The bear seems like he's shifted. Jonesy Lake, Two Forks. Which way am I going? Okay. And bear is very
I
close
take it
now.
you fell prey to the Forest Service's big recruiting effort when it comes to, how the hell you ended up out here.
I got the job out of the paper.
I saw the job in the paper and figured, what the heck?
What the heck? I've got no ties and no life. Better go spend what's left of it in utter loneliness.
Something like that?
Yeah, thanks to last summer, the bump in Forest Service budget actually allowed for us to advertise for the job. Glad it worked.
What happened last summer?
What happened last summer that accounted for this, windfall?
Jeez. I mean, the federal government almost let Yellowstone National Park burn to the ground? Ring a bell?
Why would they do that?
Yellowstone is 15 miles away. Why would they do that?
Well, the short story is that for 60 years, we got very good at not letting forest fires happen. And then about 15 years ago, they decided that forest fires in wilderness areas like Yellowstone should be left to burn. So that's what they did. I can't believe you didn't hear about this. There were reports that the entire park was gone. Dan Rather telling the country that President Reagan didn't care on the nightly news. I mean, what the hell's he gonna do? Smoke jump in and snuff one out for the Gipper?
What should they have done?
So what should they have done?
I don't even know. By the time the Yellowstone folks realized the little fires weren't gonna burn themselves out, 100,000 acres were gone. It's Yellowstone, People don't want to touch it. But we touch it every single day. But hey, I got a 30 cents an hour raise because we can't have another fiasco. Like the goddamn park can burn down again.
Okay, we are at a shale slide. The fireworks are in the distance, and the bear that I've been hearing is apparently the rocket impulse of the fireworks. So, at least there's probably not a bear trying to eat me. I think this is where we will pause our first excursion into Firewatch, and we'll pick up the video next time in part 2. So once again, this has been Checkers with a new video on Firewatch, which has just released. I'd like to remind you that I now have a Twitter link in the description of the video and on the channel main page. If you look in the upper right hand corner of the video, you may find a letter I surrounded by a white circle. That is a link to cards, which will link to related videos, perhaps the next video in the series once it's been created. I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope you found the video entertaining and maybe just a little informative. I'd like to invite you to subscribe and ask you to please take care.